What is up? Welcome back to another video. Today I am doing a quick 5. I asked on Instagram for you to ask me any questions that you are dying to know the answers to, and I'm going to pick just 5 of them to answer quickly here. Let's get into it. Are daily steps more important than cardio for fat loss? When it comes to fat loss, I'll say this 100 times over. The most important thing is going to be your nutrition. We cannot outwork our diet. If you are not in a calorie deficit, you are not going to lose weight. Now, what is a calorie deficit? Simply put, a calorie deficit is eating less calories than your body requires to maintain weight. So if you were eating in a surplus, but you are doing, 10,000 steps a day and doing extra cardio, you will not lose weight by eating too many calories for your body to lose weight. So first we've got to look at our nutrition. If your goal is fat loss, make sure that you are in a calorie deficit, and then you can look at the training side of things. I personally like to focus on weight training when it comes to my year-round approach. Whether my goal is to lose fat or to build muscle, I'll be weight training. Alongside that, I implement steps for myself as well as the Anjuli Fit Squad. So for example, if I'm in a build phase, my steps might be 6,000 to 8,000, and then as I'm looking to shred, I'll increase my steps up to 10,000 and anywhere upwards of that. This is just to keep the consistent kind of calorie burn across the week. If I was doing, 2,000 steps on a day and then 20,000 steps on another day, and my steps are all over the show, it's just not very accurate in terms of me monitoring my progress and making sure that I'm maximizing the results that I get over the time of my shred. Pretty much for my whole shred for this comp, I've been on 10,000 steps, and that's been working great for me. Now, when we look at cardio versus steps, there's a few things to take into account. If you are someone that has a sedentary job and you spend a lot of your time sitting down, like myself, chances are most of your day is spent sitting down, because not only are you sitting down at a desk to work, you're also sitting down to commute, assuming you don't bike or walk to work. You're also sitting on the couch, watch Netflix at the end of the day, you're sitting down to eat. And so if we look at, say, a 1-hour workout, whether that's cardio or weights being 4% of your day, what are you doing for the 96% of the day? You're sleeping, you're sitting down to eat, you're sitting down to commute, you're sitting down at a desk, and it's just not enough movement. So when it comes to cardio, I honestly don't even look at that for myself on a fat loss journey or for the squad at a starting point. First, it's going to be nutrition, and then it's going to be your steps. Make sure that you are hitting a set amount of steps each day just to see how you're progressing over time with your calorie deficit. I would only add in cardio towards the end if needed to take things to a new level, but you actually don't need to do anything extra. Outside of competing on a shred, I honestly wouldn't even have added in biking, but at the end of the day, it's best to do whatever your coach advises. For me personally, I would just happily do steps and I wouldn't even worry about getting on the bike, but of course I'm looking to take things to a new level and get that little bit leaner. So I have got biking 4 times a week for 20 minutes, but if your nutrition's not on point, nothing's going to help you. So just make sure that your nutrition's on point along with your sleep and your water intake too before looking to add in any extra cardio. 2 questions about working with me on the Anjuli Fit Squad, so I thought I'd combine them together because they're both about meals. One was, do you have flexibility to track your own macros and eat meals out when working with you? And the other one was about how often the meal plans and shopping lists change. So starting with the first one, yes, for anyone that joins with me, I send you an email about your goals and then I create your plans. At the top of each of your days, you get a 7-day meal plan. You'll have some macros and calories that you can either choose to track your own foods to or follow the meal plan. I personally prefer to track macros as opposed to following a meal plan. For my whole prep, I have been tracking my own macros instead of following a meal plan, just because it gives you more flexibility, but it also enables you to understand how to eat the foods that you love whilst getting results. I think it would be near impossible to follow a meal plan for the rest of your life, and I don't want that for anyone. I would far rather you have that food freedom to be able to fit in foods that you enjoy whilst getting the results that you want. How often do the meals and the training plans change? They change every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks you're prompted to update your details on the app, and send me an email to check in. I don't chase the squad up for check-ins. You're expected to email me with how you've been going on the key habits, and that is when I will create your new meal plans and upload them for you. Again, you can either choose to follow the meal plan for 7 days a week, you could pick one day to meal prep, or you could choose not to follow the meal plan at all and just track your own macros. Any of these options is a-okay, but I do encourage you to invest time in learning how to use an app like MyFitnessPal to track calories, and that's something that you get when you sign up to work with me. Once you sign up, I email you about your goals and you reply. I then send you videos to watch on how to use MyFitnessPal. I send you a Google Drive link with an If It Fits Your Macros PDF guide to read through. I give you everything you need in order to learn how to eat the foods that you love whilst achieving your goals. So super important for anyone out there that is looking to achieve either build muscle goals, fat loss goals, confidence goals. Get a proper plan in place and take action. And do not forget that my Black Friday sale is still live. There's limited spaces. Do not miss out on this. Sign up today at fitwithanjuli.com and we can get started working together today so that we end this year better than ever. Do you always gain fat in a reverse diet, or do some people lose weight? This is a great question, and I'm going to start this off by explaining what a reverse diet is. Reverse dieting was something that wasn't really spoken about when I first started competing in 2017. If you've been on my journey for a while, you'll know that I totally blew out after my first competition and I gained all the weight back and more. And this is, not something that's uncommon. It happens to so many people. They'll do some kind of a fad diet, they'll do some kind of extreme dieting, and then they gain the weight back and more straight after because they didn't go through the process of one, building habits, and then reverse dieting out of that calorie deficit phase. So a reverse diet, simply put, is increasing your calories out of the deficit and taking back any extra cardio that you are doing. Now it's become kind of known as the diet after the diet, and I love that. It is just as important, if not more important, than the calorie deficit phase. And many people go to a coach to lose weight or do some kind of a program to lose weight, and then once they've achieved the goal, they completely leave the coach and go back to what they were doing before. But you can't expect to maintain the results that you got by going back to what you were doing before. So it's really important that you spend time reverse dieting with your coach. I've had experience out of competition since my first ever one reverse dieting, and it has been so successful. I've also helped many women all around the world reverse diet. So we go through a phase of shredding, and then we reverse diet, meaning we increase our calories and take back our step count to 6,000 to 8,000 whilst focusing on eating more food. Now, is it possible to lose weight? Yes, it is. Some people will actually lose weight as they reverse diet, especially if they've been on low calories or very inconsistent with their calories for a long period of time. So while someone might think that, they've been really consistent hitting 1,200 calories every single day, they actually haven't been. So then when they come to me and I say increase their calories to 1,400 or 1,500 and they're actually consistent, they find that their weight starts to come down, they have more energy, they're lifting heavier in the gym, and they overall feel better. But in saying this, the purpose of a reverse diet is not to lose weight. The purpose of a reverse diet is to get you in a really good place in which you have more energy, you're more consistent, you're stronger in the gym, and you feel better overall. Everyone has a different reason for reverse dieting. For some people, it's to get their cycle regular again. For some people, it's post-competition or post-shred. For other people, it's about losing a fear of gaining weight and having more food freedom and flexibility in their everyday life. Everyone has a different, goal on their fitness journey, so it's super important not to compare yourself and your journey to anyone else's. When it comes to reverse dieting, please do not think that it's some magical thing in which, you start eating more calories and then you start losing weight. That is not the purpose of it. Although that might happen for some people, and you might see people on Instagram that increase their calories and lose weight or get a better shape, it's not the case for everyone. For some people, it's a case of just getting out of that deficit and, having happy hormones again. I think Haley is a really good example of reverse dieting done successfully. She came to me at 1,200 calories, not getting the results that she wanted. She wanted to feel amazing for her wedding day. So I straight away increased her calories and we kept going from there. And as you can see, her shape totally changed. Everyone has a totally different journey. It's important just to focus on you and your goals and work one-on-one with a coach to help you achieve those goals in a much shorter time than I achieved my goals, because boy oh boy did I make some mistakes at the start. Question number 4. One was, when in a calorie deficit, should you drop fat more to help with the deficit? And the other one was similar, but it was about carbs. Should we eat less carbs to lose weight faster or even delete them? Both of these questions are asking about fat loss and should you eliminate carbs or fats. So let's talk about our macronutrients. We have protein, which is 4 calories per gram. Fats are 9 calories per gram, and carbs are 4 calories per gram. When it comes to fat loss, like I said in the first question, the ultimate thing that's going to determine whether you lose fat or not is the total calories you consume, and those calories being in a deficit. So if you're eating 2,000 calories and your weight is holding steady there and you want to go into a deficit, so you start eating, say, 1,500 calories each day, you will lose fat if you're consistent with that. Now, within the 1,500 calories, you have your proteins, your fats, and your carbs. We need all 3 of these for optimal health. So proteins then help with recovery. It's also great for helping with satiation and maintaining muscle mass. Carbs are there to help fuel us, plus they're delicious, so we don't want to cut those out. And then fats are really important for our hormones, for both men and women. So we actually need all 3 macronutrients for optimal health. Now, of course, like I said, fats are 9 calories per gram. So of course, if you wanted to go into a bigger deficit, you could lower your fats first. That's going to lower your calories by more than, say, lowering carbs with the same amount. But we still want to make sure that we have adequate fats for our hormonal health. Just like we want to make sure that we have enough protein to maintain as much muscle as possible. So what I would do is I would calculate the amount of calories someone needs. Then I'd look at the amount of protein I want for them. And then from there, I've got flexibility with my fats and carbs. Some people like to eat lower carbs. Some people like to eat lower fats. It depends on the individual. However, I like to take a more balanced approach. I like to make sure that I'm having enough carbs to fuel me through my workouts. Same with the Anjuli Fit Squad. So should you eliminate carbs or fats? No, you shouldn't. However, in order to lose fat, you do need to be in a calorie deficit, and whether you want to create that deficit from lowering your carbs or your fats is going to be up to you or your coach, depending who is calculating your macronutrients. So what I don't want anyone to do is think that in order to lose fat, you need to eliminate all carbs or you need to slash your calories really low. What matters most is consistency long term with that deficit. So ideally, we want to go into a deficit. We want to be consistent every single day, not just Monday to Friday, and then get out of a deficit as soon as possible. My competition prep has been a long, slow shred, aiming to maintain as much muscle as possible. But I actually said to Ross the other day, I would far rather just go fast and hard for like 8 to 12 weeks, drop, 4 to 6 kilos, however much I want to lose, averaging about half a kilo a week, and then get out of a deficit sooner rather than later. I'm now down, honestly, I think about 7 to 8 kilos, and this has been over about like 16 to 18 weeks. I've been losing steadily half a kilo every week, and I've been super consistent with that. But if I had it my way, I would have just aimed for about 5 kilos in 10 weeks and then been out of a deficit and just gone to maintenance. But of course, I have a specific goal, and with that requires me doing everything my coach says. Just like if you sign up to work with me, you need to do what I advise if you actually want to get results. Last question, I'm going to step away from kind of the fat loss and fitness based questions, and it's more on the mental health side of things. Do you struggle with mental health, and any tips on staying happy and positive? If you've been following me for a while now, you'll know that I am not shy in saying that I did reach out to get a therapist a few years ago. I haven't been in a while because mentally I feel the best I've felt in a very long time. But for anyone out there that is struggling with any kind of mental health battles, please reach out to a professional and get help. Either go to your doctor and get referred onto a therapist, reach out to a therapist, reach out to a loved one, let them know that you're struggling, and please know that it is okay to not be okay, because the past few years have been anything but easy, and you know what, it happens. We all go through highs and lows in our life, and it's super important to reach out for help. So in terms of what I did, I definitely, you know, spoke to Ross about how I was feeling, and he was the one that encouraged me to go get a therapist. He actually helped me find a really good one, and sometimes it takes time to find a therapist that is good. I went to one therapist one time. I cried for like an hour. I left and I never went back again. And then I didn't go back for like a year or two after that until I found like one that I wanted to go see. I went to her and it helped me so much. So speaking to a therapist, speaking to a loved one is a great starting point. I'm someone that thrives off progression. I love learning, so reading self-development books really helps me. Listening to motivational speeches every single morning also helps just pick my spirits up. Spending time with people I love and people that I find inspiring and uplifting is really good. I do think that your environment matters. If you're constantly surrounded by people that are really negative and pulling you down, it's very hard to stay positive in that situation. And I know a lot of people have that toxic environment in their workplaces, so it might mean that you need to speak to a supervisor, a boss, or you need to get yourself out of that position and into a better work environment. There's a lot of different reasons why people have highs and lows in their life. Another thing that I started doing this year, which I think honestly is life-changing, is writing down things that I'm grateful for at the end of each day. I literally have kept a calendar where I've written down something I'm grateful for every single day. At the start of the year in January, I struggled to think of one different thing every day that I was grateful for. And I make sure that each day it's something different. So I couldn't be like, oh, I'm grateful for a house every day, or oh, I'm grateful for Ross every day. It has to be something different so that I'm constantly, you know, looking for things that I'm grateful for throughout my day. And at the start, I couldn't do one thing, and now I struggle to stick to 3 to 4 things per day. And for the past, you know, few months, I've been writing 3 to 4, even 5 things each day that I'm grateful for. And it's such a nice way to end the day. So you could even start the day with things you're grateful for, or end the day with things you're grateful for. And it's just a nice way to go to bed, I find, because the attitude of gratitude has really been something that has kind of challenged me to look for the good in life, even on my saddest, darkest days of this year, where, you know, you've lost loved ones and things like that. There's always some kind of something in there that you can, I guess, I don't know, you can just recognize as being a silver lining. So gratitude has been something that's been amazing for me, reading those self-development books and just being kind to yourself. It's so important. I'm sending so much love to all of you out there that are struggling. I hope that some of these tips helped, but once again, please speak to someone. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I cannot believe that tomorrow Ross and I are getting on a plane to New York. Stay tuned for my next vlog, because it will most likely be the trip to New York City. Yes, catch you in the next one.